Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, I have with me Amy Turnbaugh. She is a trauma-informed coach specializing in ADHD, nervous system regulation, and human design. She helps sensitive, neurodivergent humans make sense of their inner world, release survival-based patterns, and reconnect with their natural rhythm and capacity. Amy's work is rooted in compassion, clarity, and the belief that nothing is wrong with you. Your system learned exactly what it needed to survive, and so now it's time for you to feel safe again. Amy, welcome.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Why? Thank you, darling. I appreciate it.
So tell us what brought you to learning more about human design. Give us a little bit of your own story.
Well, can we swear on here?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was in a really shitty spot in my life, which, you know, kind of became the norm, I want to say. If you're an ADHD, I think that you'll relate. Um, I was just coming off of a real estate um, implosion, I guess I would like to say. My team of 7 years. I've been in the real estate industry for 14 now, but my team of 7 years that I was building, it's like my baby, had recently imploded, and I went down to ground zero. I became a single agent again, and a lot of trauma on top of that. With it just was like a shit show. It was an absolute shit show. And became a single agent again. And I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. And, and I had known that I was ADHD, and I had known practicing in real estate was very challenging because I saw everybody else's version of success, how they were processing through life, especially in this industry. And I never felt at peace with it. I always felt like I was over capacity with it. I just I didn't process things the same way. I didn't, I saw things that others didn't. And the pattern recognition, which is also, I think, an ADHD superpower. And I just thought to myself, there has to be some other way, because I was completely burned out. I'm like, what do I want to do when I grow up? I don't want to build another team. I don't even know if I want to sell real estate anymore. And it was like ground zero. So I actually went head deep into the neurodivergent space inside my brokerage, my real estate brokerage that I was at, because we had a really awesome ADHD group. And I went head first into it, and I said, these are my people. And so I dug deep into this industry and learning how to create different systems, different models that work for ADHD brains inside real estate. And it was amazing. And I was like, oh, this is really what I want to do. And so I was putting away, seeing how I could become quote unquote certified to be able to help people, which in all honesty, you really don't have to be certified to really help people. I figured that one out. Number two, I decided that I wanted to pair up and do this another business, which I'm a serial entrepreneur. So why not? I'm going to do real estate still, and then I'm going to also do coaching, and then I'm also going to do this direct sales business. So then I had 3 businesses, and I was like, oh, this will be great. Do another business. And one of the ladies that was, I want to say higher up in the chain at the direct sales company that I'm still a part of, that I absolutely love, started to make these comments about, oh, girl, you're a total Manny Jenny. And, oh, girl, you're like a total da 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 da. And I'm like, what's this language? What are you talking
What does
about?
this even
Like,
mean?
what does this even mean? What do you mean I'm a Manny Jenny? Like, what is this? And she's like, oh, well, you can do all these things, and you're like really on fire, and like you're like always really, really good, and like you're like just a powerhouse and all these things. And I was like, huh, okay. So all of a sudden I'm like on my computer, and I'm like, what is this human design? So I figured it out, and I'm like, oh my dear sweet Jesus, this is like the biggest rabbit hole ever. And I freaking like, I was like, these are my people. So a part of my story, and I want to kind of bring up these 3 points because I think it's important. And I think it's important because I feel like a lot of ADHDers and neurodivergent people experience this across the board at some point in their lives. Yes, I feel like there's a lot of long, drawn out chronic trauma that we experience. That's what I call more so the masking piece and the conditioning piece, because we process through life differently. We move through life differently. We think differently. Everything that we do does not really fit. We are so good at becoming adaptable to systems because we inherently don't fit them. So we are almost like constantly, our adaptive intelligence is just off the charts. And I say this because what happens is there are, I think, key points in our lives where we go and we sink in and we finally realize, and I hope this is my hope for every single person that's neurodivergent, is those moments in life where you say, oh my gosh, there's nothing wrong with me. This is why. And it takes so much of that trauma off of your heart. The guilt, the shame for being different, for never fitting in, for being too much, for being too loud, for being too quiet, for being just too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, there were a couple points in my life that I recognized that what this did for me on an identity level, on a trauma level, on a healing level, on a spiritual level, were number one, when I got sober, I recognized that at that point in time, I was most likely neurodivergent, because a lot of what happens when you are neurodivergent is that we find unhealthy coping mechanisms to deal with our overactive, unregulated nervous systems, our living life that really isn't structured for the support that we need, and yada, yada, yada. So when I got sober, and I've been 10 years sober now, but when I first got sober, I think when I first got sober and I entered into the rooms of AA, that was the first time that I felt like, wow, there are other people like me. And I felt that on a level that only really truly an alcoholic or an addict can really kind of feel or explain. But I was like, I'm not alone. Other people are going through this too. And it was my first, like, where people get me in a core level. So that was my first aha. There's nothing wrong with me. And then there's tools now, and there's community for support to help see me through on that recovery journey, right? Second one was when I was formally diagnosed with ADHD, and that really was 2022 into 2023, and I started to get medicated for it. And it really was, that's a whole other conversation. But when I made the journey from my team completely dissolving and then going into Keller Williams, where they had an ADHD support group, where they had people that were coming in saying, let's challenge the way that things, systems, people, environments, everything was built for a neurotypical brain. Let's challenge that and let's start building things that work with us. That was my second aha. There's nothing wrong with the way that I do things. There's nothing wrong with the way that I operate. So I was like, aha. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm coming back to home. I'm coming back to understanding that all of these ahas are giving us a point in time in our lives where we say, I can find safety in self. And that is really, truly the means of healing. So at least for me anyway. And then my third was when I jumped into human design. So when I got into human design, this was like whole freaking other level of, not only can I, like, the label of human, like being ADHD or being an alcoholic gave me permission to enter a space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Human design is just permission to be 100% who you were built to be and who you are made to be, and at you operating at your highest potential. And I went, oh my gosh, it is literally the science of differentiation. It is like someone saying, here, this is you, and look how fucking beautiful you are. And oh, by the way, it's like an owner's manual. It's like if you could be given the keys to the castle, the operation manual, the everything that goes along with it, and they're like, here, just go in, and you're living the best life possible. Like, and here it is, and this shows you, and it literally gives you
Yeah.
the guidance that you need. It gives you the GPS for life. It tells you what roads you should be staying on. It tells you how to like almost counteract, counterbalance, making you stay in alignment, understanding what that means for you, understanding how you should be marketing in business. I mean, this isn't just a methodology that's focusing on how you're built and what's connected and what your strategy through life is and what your energy type is and what your um, profile is and what your inner authority is and your outer authority. It's not all the jumbo that goes along with it, but it's so much deeper than that, that it when you start in self, it literally changes your life, but it ripple effects everywhere. So it changes your business, it changes your relationships, it changes everything around you, because you're starting in here and you're recognizing your self-awareness becomes so much more prominent, that you start to build life around you. You're building instead of you adapting to it.
Yeah. I
So
love,
that was a very long answer to that.
yeah, no, you're good. It was like, I'm over here like, yes, tell me more.
Yes, tell me more.
That
Tell
brings me
yeah.
to like a lot of questions are flowing through my brain because I am
Hmm.
not familiar. You know me, I'm not familiar with human design. I'm the astrology, like I love astrology,
Hmm.
but I do know that they're both connected. So, so I'm going to ask some probably dumb questions. Can you find ADHD and neurodivergence in human design charts?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And that was the first place I went, because I'm like professional pattern finder. I'm like challenge accepted. I'm going to see how ADHD shows up in human design. It does not. There is no pattern, no, like we get so really close to saying, oh, it's because this is connected to this, and it's because this color or tonality is here, and like the science and behind human design has been around for a very long time, and it's based off of the I Ching, which has been around for thousands of years. It's based around quantum physics, so all of the laws of science, quantum physics. It's the Kabbalah. It's astrology, and it's gene keys. Exactly. So like Richard Rudd, sorry, not Richard Rudd, Ra Uru, literally took all of these brilliances, and they're almost kind of like piecemealed all around. And they're saying all of these are so incredibly brilliant, but they're all one and the same. And he's like, what if we combine them all? And that's basically his download that he had. And it created this blend of literally everything. And the brilliance behind it is the fact that all of it meshed up.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like d- divine energy, frequency, resonance, chakra, which is it's like an energy, but he just basically molded all of it together and created this system. And it's a combination of a lot of things, but they all can't exist without one of that. Kind of proved it. It's like they're all interconnected, just like astrology. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, what can we learn from human design and the way that we communicate? If we have a lot of business owners who are listening, number one,
Hmm.
communication is the biggest thing in how we
Hmm.
communicate. It's also how we show up in our business. So, is there a way to find we're going to go with patterns because we love patterns, visibility wound patterns and things like that that you can heal from within human design?
I think that yes. So Richard Rudd talks his big basis of science and modalities called the gene keys, and it's all based around frequency, and just how we know how frequency can have a lower frequency to like a specific frequency can have an undertone or a shadow, and then we have a
Mhm.
gift. We're all kind of still on the same frequency, but it's kind of like you can err to the shadow side of something. It's the same thing, where we're displaying a trait, or we have a trait, but the shadow of that trait is this, and the gift of that trait is this, or the so what I like to use human design what I practice is focusing on the pieces that we might not recognize in ourselves that are gaining us into that alignment, that are superpowers, that are things that are inherent in us that we just don't recognize yet. And that's the kind of the piece that I like to uncover. And so for me, I really like to lean in on what we call our unconscious. So it's 80% our body, our physiology, which is what the outside world already sees and recognizes in us, but we can't see for ourselves. And I find that in business, that's the biggest opportunity for growth, because how the human design is set up is that we have a conscious side, which is our mind. And then we have an unconscious side, which is our body, our physiological self, our energy, our body, our 80% of who we be, which is typically something that we can't necessarily change. It's just who we be.
Right.
Where the mind is the personality that can be conditioned, that can be like, ooh, we're going to notice that really quick because it's inside of us. It's the perspective of ourselves in our inner world, right? So we can't see what other people see about us. We don't know, right? We don't know what other people are thinking or seeing. In human design, we can. So for example, I am what's called, we call this the public role or the profile. And it's one of the major things that people look to in how we think of ourselves and how other people view us in the world. Okay. So, for example, I'll give you mine. For example, I am a 2-4. So, and you'll see two different line numbers. One is representing your conscious side and one is representing your unconscious side. So the unconscious side is going to be the side in which people see you. So I see myself as a line 2, and there's 6 different line qualities. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each of them represents almost like a different quality of a human being, how they interact in the world, how they potentially want to go about business, how they potentially are in relationships, how they garner and market for business, it's really fascinating. So the reason why I bring up public role is because the part that we know about ourselves already is pretty easy to go to. It's our go-to. The thing that really sets us up for success and growth is leaning into the unconscious side of you, which for me is a line 4. Sorry, my daughter just tried to call me. For me, it's a line 4. And a line 4 quality, I'll give you an example, is called the influencer. It's the
I have a 2-4.
You have a 2-4. I know. We're the same public role. So for a line 4 on the unconscious side of us is that people look to us and they say, oh my gosh, they're a people person. The people in their life are their gold. They are their wealth. Their network is their net worth. And oh my gosh, how incredibly freaking awesome are they? They can go into a space and it's like, whoo, they light up the room. They're like, oh, I really want to get to know you. Surface level conversations, hell freaking no. Doesn't work. We need to go deep, and we need to go almost narrow and in and deep. And that's an incredible gift. And for us, it's really how that can show up for us leaning into more of a business conversation is, how am I marketing? For us, because we don't do well with surface level, our networks are our capacity for growth. Our networks are the way that we garner warm contacts. Our networks are everything for us. We don't like cold calling. Cold calling falls flat. It is not okay. It is not, we don't feel good there. Will we do it? Absolutely. But really what we're here to do is develop relationships and then make those relationships more relationships, more relationships, more relationships. And it's all based upon warm marketing and networking. That's really the focus that I get to say, all right, especially if you're a 4 on your unconscious line, they already see you that way. Freaking go 150% on your networks. Let's see where we need to get your butts in your
So
seats.
I'm hearing you say shine brighter.
Shine brighter. And don't feel bad if people are like, why? It's like, I experienced this in real estate. I got this all the time, that you should be making your 40 calls a day and you should be making your 150 contacts a week. And da, da, da. I'm like, dude, even my brokerage owner here knows. He's like, don't get Amy on a phone call because the next thing you know, it's going to be 2.5 hours later. I'm like, that's why I can't be held to the same standards that you all are being held to about contacts, numbers, numbers, numbers. It isn't about the numbers for us. It's about the people. We
Yeah.
don't fit a numbers based system. Doesn't
Okay.
work. So for and people that are in businesses for themselves tend to be taught that this is a numbers game. This is just a and so the next thing you know, you're compounding yourself and you're disaligning, you're like misaligning yourself. You're going off course, going down this track, and you're spending so much energy and effort and time on a path that is beating you the hell up and is dropping the anchor to the boat that's trying to be flowing away. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go. I gotta
Yeah.
build this business.
Yeah.
So there, and every single line quality so has a different approach to business, has a different way that they're perceived by the outside world, which dictates a different system that might work for them. So for example, the fact that you're a 2-4, you would probably say, I get the piece about the network. I get the piece about um, like that's how you feel you can obtain the best growth. That's why you are building literally women in the room.
Mhm.
Like that's why you are literally saying, I need commune with like minds and I need to go deep and I need to give the gift of loving on my people because they're the important things. When we have a line 2 on our conscious side, our mind, the line 2 is opposite of a line 4. It's a juxtaposition of sorts. And it's like the hermit. It's like, oh, I need everything to be easy and natural and like I can't, if I hit resistance, it's like a major like
Uh-huh.
no, I'm not doing it. If you add ADHD on top of that, then you're getting that times 150. So when the juxtaposition can happen with a lot of our profiles because our conscious might be different from our subconscious. And so the growth, like I was saying, is when we lean into the things that we don't really know about ourselves or don't think are really big strengths or that you might even not think could be an option for you. Like, oh, I don't have to cold call. Like, oh,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Like I can do and put effort and energy into going strictly and being people based, service based. Like, how do I get into the right rooms? How do I meet the right people? Like, how can we expedite that part of your business and see your business multiply? And then you have this juxtaposition that kind of is at odds with it, going like, I just want things to be easy and natural and like pretty and attractive. And I don't rest. The line 2 is a really fun line because it's like you have this natural talent in yourself, like this natural ability to do these wonderful things. And you being naturally gifted at them think that it's natural for everybody to be doing these things. So
Mhm.
you don't inherently believe there's anything special about you.
That used to be, I will tell you this, I'll go ahead and put it out there and be honest and transparent. That used to be me for a while. My business coach, one of my business coaches had caught on to that and said, one of the things that we were taught was nobody's a special snowflake. And I was like, yes, I am. I am a special
Yes,
snowflake.
yes.
And so when I would get into a room of people who were similar, I felt like I had nothing to offer.
Mhm.
And so it made sense though, whenever, she would say, nobody is a special snowflake. Nobody's doing it better than you, doing it more, whatever. You are you, they're them. And so that's when it finally clicked in that space, even in my business. When business started growing, it was because I was networking. I was always connecting with so many other people, not
Hmm.
necessarily word of mouth pearls. It was just the right people, the right rooms, the right conversations. Let me show you, let me guide you to this place
Hmm.
called freedom.
Hmm.
So I
Isn't that crazy? And like the cool
crazy.
thing is that the what happens is they're juxtapositions in a sense that like I would rather like I know myself like I would rather be like in a space where I can just do the things that I love and that are easy and that like look, it feels good and like I'd rather do that all day long and just like be in my little bubble than like want to be out doing the things in the world. But the great thing is that, like, as a 2/4, is that the people in the rooms that you're going into and that you're navigating and networking with are the ones that pull out the natural gifts and shine the light on them. And they go, "Oh my gosh, do you know how good you are at this? Oh my gosh, do you like?" And then you notice these patterns that start showing up as the two and say, "Oh wow, people keep coming to me for all these things." Like, wow, like okay, yeah, I guess I am really good at it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably a part of the coaching that you received. And maybe she didn't know human design, but like she picked up on these things where you feel like there's nothing special about you. And so, as a line two, I always say it is so important to lean into your friends, the people around you, people you respect, and just say, what is it that like, what do you come to me for? What do you think I'm inherently good at? And get curious about it and just be like, hey, like random message. Okay, I'm doing like a quick
A
like
market research. Why do you love
market
me?
research. Yeah, why do you love me? And it could be totally random and like send a funny picture with it. It'd be like, like, hi, remember me? Like, why? Can you just tell me why you fucking love me? Just tell me. And
Prepare to get
like,
a
what
text
am I good
message
at?
after this.
Probably. And it's like it's a really good practice because I think for the line twos, we forget how incredibly gifted and powerful we are. So we need others to help draw that out. But it also makes us really great at seeing at the exceptional and drawing it out of other people too, because
Yeah.
we've lived it.
Yeah. So
So
how does this relate in a business sense? Not just in the conscious and the unconscious or the subconscious. How do we bring this into business? What is the best way? How do you do this in the work that you do and the people that you work with? How do you bring this in business to help people grow and expand to their highest potential or their next level?
I look at a lot of different things. I look at, are they a solopreneur?
Okay.
I look at the systems that they have in place currently,
Okay.
like management systems, processing systems, all of the things. And being that I also work with Neurodivergent, that's my primary client, is that the systems are a really big thing because we need the support and we need the structure, which are, two S words that we don't really like. But it actually can be a really beneficial thing when they're actually built for you. So you get to kind of be selfish in that regard. So I work in seeing if they're a solopreneur or if they have team members or if they have partners, because who surrounds you, environment, the who, what, the nouns. I call it people, places, things. So I use this in a multiple capacity, understanding that if we were going to take human design and label it like it's if you're a car, right? You're a passenger, you're the driver of the car, that's your conscious mind, and then your subconscious body is the vehicle, right?
Okay.
And if I were to say, all right, you now have an idea of what kind of car you are, what kind of vehicle you are, and Maisie, you're a manifesting generator, or you're a generator.
I'm a generator. Yeah.
You're a generator.
Generator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a freaking truck.
Yes.
You're a freaking like badass freaking like decked out dually freaking like badass here we go truck,
You should
right?
see my expedition. She's so
Uh,
masculine.
see? Aha! All right. Okay. Let's just say you came to me and you're like, Amy, not only am I really struggling or, with the systems, I'm struggling with my relationships or, hey, and that's the beautiful thing is that we can really go over anything. And it's really any challenge in life. It can be relational, it can be business, it can be life. And I am a life and business coach. So that's really where because one affects the other here. It's one and the same. So, depending upon your concerns or your challenges or your goals, we get to build and see what type of vehicle you are. We get to see that if you're traveling with somebody to go to Alaska and we're going to go take a road trip and the goal and the destination is Alaska, right? And I'm from Pennsylvania. So here I am in Pennsylvania and we're driving to Alaska. Like we're going to be going across Canada, right? Like, or at least across all the things, right? And Maisie, we're going together. Your freaking truck and is like badass dually, like hitching a freaking camper behind and like, let's fucking go. And I'm like, yeah, here, I'm over here. I'm a projector. I'm like a Tesla, but like a Tesla, like an older Tesla that has to plug in. So like I've got to find charging stations. And you better believe if you want to go and be like, yeah, let's go off-roading or let's find this badass, like we're going to back roads and we're like exploring because that's where you get lit up. That's where you're responding to the travel and to the journey and that's
Yeah,
life. And you're going like, oh my gosh, I come alive here.
I
And
do.
I'm a Tesla and I'm just like, I need multiple brakes to be able to plug in and disconnect. And you're going like, all right, so like, dude, that's really gonna suck for me if I'm a freaking like truck 4x4, like ready to go. And you're like, it's like someone who can't hold their bladder. And you're like, this really freaking sucks. And so you're like, I'm not traveling with you. I'll see you when I get there. Or maybe we'll like meet in the middle. Like we'll have like, okay, we'll stay in Ontario and then we'll stay in like, we'll make stops along the way, right?
See there.
But we'll meet you there. I'll meet you there, right? We're going on the same trip. We're still together. We're talking on our freaking phones. We're making this really fun. But we're honoring the fact that you to be living this journey and the highest potential you possibly can have to honor the way you're built. And the way you're built is you take that freaking truck and you work it like a truck.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
enjoy it. You
Yeah.
freaking go through the mud. You like freaking make the journey so exciting for you. And that's how you're built. And so we go on a much more like human level, but that's like
Yeah.
the best analogy.
That's
And
a
I'm over
perfect
here like,
analogy.
right. And I'm taking my time and I'm not now bitter or upset at you for honoring you because I understand how you work. You're
Mhm.
not bitter at me or angry or frustrated at me for having to take more pee breaks. I'm just got to plug in and I got to relax and I got to take my time. And believe you me, when I get going, I can get going. I'm like, I'm fine. I'll take the highway and here I go. I can get there quick, but I need more breaks, right? So the way that we're built kind of helps us become so super aware or self aware of what we need to advocate for in this one precious life.
Yeah.
And then it gives me the tool. So human design not only allows me to do that, it says, okay, now how are we doing this?
Yeah.
Because that I can understand by looking at your design too, as to how to market, what not to do, what environments are going to be suitable for you, what type of like how you digest information, how you digest food. So
Mm.
environments, it's like there's a whole nutritional aspect to this, which I've not gone into certification for because I can take like 3 or 4 years to get certified as a PHS through human design, which is a really long time. But I can get enough that I can start you on a really good path of saying, what environments do you need to set yourself up in so that you're most happy, you're showing up in a calm, your nervous system regulates.
Yeah.
So not only do I get to help you modify the people, places, and things in your life that are currently out there that are causing resistance, that are causing challenges, that are causing dysregulation,
Yeah.
I help you set that up in a manner that's built for you so that it's literally starting from source and not the other way around, because it's like trying to build a house on sand. How we like, why are we not building our life around how we need it to look, feel, function, and operate in congruence with us?
Yeah.
So then you add the ADHD layer on top of that. That's really fun. That's like it's so much fun because it's like wearing ADHD like a lens over top of everything, because we have a heightened um, nervous system response. We have we lack some feel good chemicals in our body, like dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, all the fun things. And so I get to kind of do a lot of work with that, but a lot of that actually calms down when you address the people, places, and things in your environment.
Interesting. So that almost makes me
Mm-hmm.
wonder if you can use human design for health and symptom relief.
Yes, you can.
So
Check it
freaking cool.
out. Yeah, Rave Psychology. Check it out. It's called Rave, Rave, Rave Psychology, and PHS, which is Physical Health System. And it's
Okay.
all based around human design.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not familiar with it. Everybody, you even read me my chart and I was like, yep. And it was just like in one ear, out the other. It was like my eyes were glossing over. I don't know what
It's
this
a lot.
means.
It's a lot. It's a
It is a
lot. And
lot.
so it's really hard to like, it is the science of differentiation.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time when I meet in group settings, it's very surface level because everybody is built. It is literally, I get to sit down and get to look at why you are different from everybody else.
Yeah. I
And
think
so
that
you can't,
also, I, I don't mean to cut you off, but that
no,
makes me
yeah,
think, I think it also makes you feel more human to just be in a space where you are you. And I think just like we said at the beginning of this, it's that activation for permission. Permission to self-express in the way that you express without somebody else having to tell you, do it this way. Like when I
yes.
would bring in somebody in my business and hire an assistant, they would be like, okay, what are the systems and the structures? And she is, I believe she's a generator and a 1-5 5 1,
Okay.
whatever.
Mhm.
And so she has her own way of doing things. My way of doing things were not her way of doing things.
At
And
all.
so sometimes she made the freaking process 9 times out of 10 easier. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh, looky.
Yeah.
Great. You want to take that? Because I don't want that.
Yes.
And so, but
Isn't
we collaborated, we worked together. Same thing with another person that I brought in. It was just like, can you do whatever drives you and makes you unique and creative? I don't give a shit. As long as it gets done, I don't fucking care. I don't care
right.
how. I want you to do it creatively in your way of expression. And so we jived in that way. But I think that also, you talk about woman in the room, that makes me like all the personalities that are in there. Everybody's unique in their own space. Everybody, even
Oh,
you
heck
in
yeah, they
there,
are.
like,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sure the other day in the room, you were like already pinpointing this person is this person is this.
Yeah. Yep.
I could
Yes.
see it.
And now it's crazy is that like this is totally ADHD too, because I mean like it's the beauty of being neurodivergent. I really do. I am like literally my goal is to build superheroes. Like we are just superheroes in hiding. That's like I feel like we've been like dormant and we're like ready to like freaking go and unmask. And like when we unmask is actually when you see the superhero. It's the opposite. We aren't donning masks or capes. They're already fucking freaking on us.
Oh, we can
We
see
just
there.
are.
What do you mean?
We have the conditioning like suit on. We have this like
Wow.
conditioning meat suit on, and it is so freaking foreign, and we know it.
Yeah.
We in the center of our being know it. It's like this knowing that we are dimming our fucking light, and it's just because we're trying to conform. We're trying to be normal. And I'm like, wave the fucking freak flag, dude.
Yeah.
And
I'm the nonconformist, like even in astrology.
yeah,
So
oh, I remember the stories you were telling me. Like you're like,
yeah.
I'm in this freaking Baton Rouge, and here I am. Like everyone's like, she's a, and you're like, what the fuck?
So it's
Yeah.
really easy because even in that space, like I don't conform to
Mm,
whatever, like I just don't, I work the opposite or I challenge it, I question it.
hmm
I was always that kid. That's me. I have a question. And that's whenever the whole class would, no, no. It's in that space. So this
hmm
makes me wonder, what are some results that people can get from using human design and bringing it into their business? What kind of results can they see come from this?
Holy crap. Okay. It is literally unlimited results. Like there's no cap on it. Quality of life, number
Okay.
one. Health, number two. Actually living inside a life that actually supports sustainable growth, I think is a huge thing for being neurodivergent and a business owner. If you're an employee, it's a little bit different. You can typically, like, if you're hired by someone, you have, and you're salaried, you go into work, you come out, and it's a little different. Like, you got separation. When you are building a business or you have a business, it's very hard to shut that off. So boundaries, um, and boundaries that are in alignment with how you're built. It's kind of like um, giving someone an energetic GPS, and I'm here and you're the pilot of the rocket ship and you're already freaking flying, man. Like you're like, I'm not saying that. I typically don't work with people that are at collapse. Collapse, I'm at like, okay, you're going to need some medical support here. Like that, I think is absolutely necessary for people that are in complete burnout. I think medical attention is the way to go. And then once we get a little bit, we can be like, okay, let's build this in a much more sustainable, aligned way, so
Yeah.
that you're not going to experience that burnout. And then I'm kind of like, you guys are driving the ship, and we're helping to build the systems that are going to support you, help you leverage out which isn't in alignment with you. So I find right butts, right seats. If you're not built for it, you ain't doing it.
Okay.
Okay. So you can learn how to do it and understand how it works. Yes. But we need to find a way at some point to unload that from you, because that's the tether that's going to keep your business from moving at the speed in which I know it can travel. So I always picture the the work that I do is usually an extended, I like to do year long, although the intensive tends to be 3 months. So you get me every day on WhatsApp, that I'm helping you to course correct in real time. So I'm kind of like air control. I'm like down on the ground and you're like rock, you know what I mean? And they're like, hey, air control to Major Tom, you know? I'm like, I was like, yeah, I got you, boo. And I can see after having our onboarding call where your goals are, where we need support, where we need to probably realign, where we need to not only course correct, leverage out, um, potentially change marketing, potentially change. I mean, there's so much that we can do inside of this that is almost like giving yourself the biggest glow up you could possibly have in your business and in your life. It saved my marriage. It saved my relationship with my kids. I now understand why it has always been so freaking hard. And now it doesn't need to be hard anymore
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
understand why. I'm
So it
like, ah,
gives you that ability to reconnect. That's what I'm hearing,
mm-hmm,
reconnect in your relationships. I'm hearing that it gives you the ability to expand and grow in your business in a way that
mm-hmm,
maybe you haven't seen or haven't been able to achieve before, or what you've been trying to do and to
mm-hmm,
reach. So getting through the hurdles through there. Also, it sounds like to me that you're also saying that it aligns the right people to you, the right clients, the right people to work with, the right energy, the right room, all the things that just jive you up
mm-hmm.
instead of tear you down.
And if you think about, what the one of the bases, we start with energy type, right?
Yeah.
So Maisie, you're a generator, I'm a projector. They all have an associated aura with them. That's in what we call it's an energy type. And the way that those energy types function amongst other energy types is huge. It tells you how to literally what you're doing on what your energy. It's like anything in life, how a plant grows, what it needs, how it absorbs stuff, how it is emoting things, and like how it's magnetizing. So you talk about a lot of quantum physics and manifestation and law of attraction. It is all there. And so our energy is doing this for us. And now we can tap into recognizing it when it's doing it. So we can say, all right, you're a generator. You have the most magnetizing energy. Like all you are doing is magnetizing opportunity and it is coming to you. That's what your energetic field is doing. It's
Okay.
it is literally like, come to me. And all you do with it is you get to, your strategy as a generator is to respond to what is being brought to you.
Yeah.
The challenge becomes responding to the things that light you up and responding to the things that don't and saying, maybe not now, I'll put you on a shelf.
Yeah.
You
I do
have to
that.
be able to, yes. So you have to be like, okay, you have to determine what's going to light your fire because that is what keeps that sacral energy going and going and going. That's what makes you a generator. You're a builder, you're a doer, but you must honor that sacral energy in a way that says, this is what ignites me. This is what fuels my fire. This is what I'm passionate about. Because generators, even though they are their bodies are built for sustainable energy and are creating sustainable energy, something you can count on, innate energy. If they are doing the wrong thing over and over and over again, they will burn out.
Yeah.
They'll get frustrated, they'll get angry, relationships suffer, businesses suffer, everything suffers when they're doing the wrong thing, when they're doing something out of alignment, when they become frustrated. I mean, that's their sign of um, the not self, I would say,
Yeah.
or becoming out of alignment. So it's the same kind of concept where we are looking at this from a perspective of energy and how my energy in the world is like my aura, because I'm a projector, is whoosh. It almost looks like a beak or like this arrow, and it goes into another person and it goes into another person. It's not drawing things to me. It's not meant, I go into the other person and I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel you, I see you, I understand you. And my strategy is to wait for the invite to draw me in and say, hey, oh my gosh, I need help. This person knows how to help me. Oh yeah, I'm good. Yes, okay, guide me. Oh, wise one. That's because you know what I mean? Because
That's
our energy is like we're only 20% of the population. So we're a very unique, we're the newest energy type. We're not until 1781 that projectors came into, I want to say, the 3D. But our goal is to guide, mentor, take people along this journey like a conductor of an orchestra takes and guides an orchestra full through a piece of music. Like we're conducting, we're like, oh, we get to move this here. I can see
yeah.
you need to go this way. You need to go this. Let's course correct here. So my energy is not built the same to take and receive and then respond to it. I'm waiting for an invitation, which is a little different. Waiting for someone like I'm waiting for the generators and the manifestors of the world, like the you and the manifestors of the world to go, oh yeah, help me connect the dots.
Yeah.
Help me get my business in alignment. Help me get my life in alignment. Help me coach me through, be a fractional expert in this part of my business. Or, there's a lot of different things that I can do. And that's what I feel like human design has set us up for, this language that didn't exist before. And I think is coming to the surface now more so than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
is because you're hearing more about it and everything. And you know what? Most of my guides and mentors that I have hired in the past, they're all projectors. And that was
Mm-hmm.
the people that I was like, hey, I need you in my life. I don't know what it is, but
Mm-hmm.
you're going to tell me what it is.
Yeah, I sure am. And that's why it makes it really hard for me to isolate what it is I do, because it is really such a encompassing,
Yeah.
empowering level in which you become the authority of your own life. You
Yeah.
become the writer of your own life. And you do that just by honoring the beauty that is you. And I just get to help you unveil that, like just
Yeah.
get deep and juicy in it and be like, oh, let's spend time. Like you said before, it's like you get into this like space where like, this is fucking exciting work. You get to come in and be like, oh my gosh, look how freaking amazing I am. Like, oh my gosh, did you recognize I have this superpower? Oh my gosh, do you know what? Like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
why the people like love me, and this is why I'm so good at this. Oh, dude, this is why I do this. This is why I do this with my husband. This is why my kids do this. Oh, this is why this happens when this happens.
Yeah.
And
Answers.
then answers, answers.
I love that.
Yeah,
Well, we are at the end of our time because I think we could be here for hours continuing to discuss more.
we could. I'm sorry, I
Now
talk
we
a
are
lot
at
too.
the
Sorry.
moment where you get to tell everybody where to find you and how to come work with you because everybody needs you.
Oh, yes, they do. So I switched everything over to Substack. So I'm actually the Authentic ADHD Advantage. My company is called the Authentic Advantage. Over in Substack, though, I added the ADHD because I think it's just cool. And so if you want to head over to substack.amyturnbaugh.com, that's where you'll find me there. I have starting a new podcast, super stoked about. So that's called My Pigs Are Flying. Heck yeah, we're gonna have so much fun. So that's hopefully going to be starting within the next month. Hashtag goals. And yeah, so you can come over there. It's a subscription based, but you can join for free. And I love Substack. I think it's a community based on thought leadership, and that's my jam. I'm all about going deep and going in. I'm a 2-4, so I need that level of really where to find, and it's not so performative. It's just more unctuous and delicious and
Yeah.
deep. So yeah, and then you can also there are some options in there to sign up for. I do one-on-ones. I find that they end up kind of being the springboard into my 3-month container, which is still one-on-ones. Although I'm kind of throwing around the idea of in Substack creating people that decide they want to be a part of my cohort or my group into that VIP section there. So
Okay.
that will have a community of like-minded business owners.
Ta-da.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your
you're
brilliance and
welcome.
sharing it with the world. So, thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
guys,
Have fun.
this wraps up our episode for today. And as always, we will catch you on the flip side.